குரூப்ல ஷேர் பண்ணிருக்கேன் சார்.
Okay, we'll start. So today we have to start from which standard, huh?
So 5:30 audit sampling.
Oh, 5:30. Can you able to see the screen?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, 5:30 audit sampling. Now, audit sampling. See, what is sample? Sample means applying the audit procedures for
Less than
less than 100% of the items called sample. Now, so why we are doing sampling? Because it is very impossible that to do audit of all the items. So how you should select the sample? Sample should be selected in such a way that it should represent entire population. It should represent what? Entire population. Sample should be selected in such a way that it should come. It should represent the entire population. Understood? Come on, tell me how you should select the sample. Sample should be selected in such a way that it should represent entire population. Yeah. Then, sir, what are the precaution I should take while taking a sample? See, you should take an unbiased sample. Sample should be unbiased. Then only it will represent entire population. For example, I will tell you, there are few students, there are 30 students in the class, but 20 students absent on various dates, 10 students fully present, and those 10 students can answer all the questions which is taken in last 1 week. So if you select one student out of the 10 students, then in fact if you project that person to others, they will think what that everyone can answer all the questions. But actually speaking, out of the 30 people, 20 people can't answer many questions because they are on leave. So this is a wrong sample. This is a biased sample. Can you able to understand? So we should always take a sample which should represent the entire population. Understood? So we have two types of sampling techniques. One is statistical sampling. Another one is non-statistical sampling. What is statistical sampling? Statistical sampling means they will use law of probability. Probability technique will be used. All the samples has equal chance of getting selected. What is non-statistical sampling? Non-statistical sampling is a rule-based sample, for example, interval-based or block sample. Now, say rule-based means every 10th item, every 20th item kind of. Okay. Now, for probability, the best example is random sampling. So, what is random sample? So, selection of an item out of total, just like that you are selecting one item. It's called random sampling. Then what is stratified sampling? The total population has to be divided into subpopulation, and each population when you are doing, okay, when you, for example, there are 100 items, you are splitting 100 items into 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, like that. 10 boxes you are splitting, and each box when you are selecting one sample in the 10 is called stratified. This is also called as cluster. Then monetary based sampling. Monetary based sampling is what when like no vouchers, there are so many hundreds of vouchers will be there, up to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, more than 10,000 when you are splitting, it's called monetary based sampling. Then block selection. Block selection means what? 1 to 200 update, just like that selecting. Or out of the 12 month, I am selecting April. September, March kind of. That's called block sample. Then what are the next two things? Okay, sir, I am doing sample. That there is a problem in the sample. See, selection of wrong sample is a problem. Coming to a wrong conclusion based on the sample is a problem. Come on, tell me. Selection of wrong sample and coming to wrong conclusion based on the sample. Both are problem. Understood? Sir, how I can avoid this? You could have used proper sampling techniques. Okay, so you can select a proper sample that can represent entire. Okay, see, giving an inappropriate opinion is the biggest risk in the audit. Giving an inappropriate opinion. Okay, now see, there are two types of error we should understand. One is called expected error, that we already know this error is possible. Okay, out of 1,000 samples which we have to verify, if we cannot verify say 300 400 samples, there is a possibility that may be a error in this. Okay, now so tolerable error. Another thing is, see, first of all, expected error. That means we left so many items. Out of that, there may be some error. This is called expected error. Tolerable error means beyond that level of error. Okay, because of our deduction risk. Deduction risk is what auditor is not found that misstatement. It's called deduction risk. So we have two types of error. One is expected error. Another one is tolerable error. Beyond this is called material misstatement. Next, we'll go to SA 550. See, who are related parties? Related parties means, as per the Companies Act, Section 277 and Section 276 talks about related parties. For a company, okay, it's holding company, subsidiary company, associate company, joint venture company, directors of the company, key manager person of the company in which these directors and key manager persons are the directors. Okay, then any person who's controlling this company other than professional capacity, okay, like major shareholder or anything like that. So then all this this key manager persons are relatives is a director, or a firm in which they are partners. Now, for relatives definition, for individual, his spouse, father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, son's wife, daughter's husband, father including stepfather, mother including stepmother, sister, brother including stepsister, okay, then brother, then son including stepson, but daughter, there should not be any stepdaughter, okay. Now, stepdaughter is not your relative. So these are the definition of your related parties. Now, there is a high chance of fraud, okay, that is called fraud risk factor in the related party. Tell me, fraud risk factors in the related party transaction. That is the reason auditors should have high control over the related party transaction. For example, a related party may be given a contract which is less than the fair market value. Okay, so a related party, you can sell any goods or purchase any goods less than the fair market value. So this is possibility of, because see, no one does fraud for themselves, or no one take the money and keep it with themselves. They can immediately pass on to a related party. For example, Satyam scam. The problem, okay, is because of the Maitas. There is another company which is into real estate based. So whatever money has been swindled, it has been parked in another related party company. Now, so what we should do, we should see as an auditor whether all the related parties are properly disclosed. All the related party transaction is properly got the approval. See, we are not telling that we should not give the related party transaction. They can have a related party transaction, but it should be properly approved, disclosed. Okay, any secret profit should not be there. So, and it should be in arm's length pricing. Arm's length pricing, it should be there. So, come on, tell me. So, name of the transaction, okay, name of the related parties, nature of the transaction, then volume of the transaction, all those things you should mention here. Yeah. Sir, how do we find, okay, whether all the related parties are disclosed? See, first of all, you should ask the management to disclose all the related parties and get the management representation letter that all related parties has been disclosed. And what is the subsequent or additional audit procedure that we can do? View their, see their ITR, income tax returns. Otherwise, they would have mentioned the related parties. 48-2B level, then more than 10% shareholders, 5%, who are the directors, all those things will be there. MCA records you can see, shareholding registers you can see, then investments registers you can see, major contracts, arrangement, agreements, okay, to whom and all they have given, that you can see. And any large life insurance policy premium paid by the company like Keyman Insurance, that you can see. Okay, so these are all helpful in determining related parties. So first of all, if there is a related party, then what you should see, whether they got maintain the register. 188 la related party transaction will be there. 189 la there is a register of related party transaction. Whether they have written all the names, okay, in the 189 register. 184 and 188 both will be covered under the related party. So they have to maintain the register. They have to write their names. Then whenever the transaction crossing 5 lakh rupees in a year, then they should write detailed what about the transaction. As per AS 18, we should disclose the related party transaction. Now, then 560 subsequent events. See, the related party transaction, highest thing is what? You should get board approval. Okay, then sometimes you need ordinary resolution. That and all we will see in company audit. Okay, we will during the company audit, I will explain how to get the approval for related party transaction under section 188. So this 550, it says whether they are properly disclosed. That is the only thing as an auditor you should see. Then 560 subsequent. So today we completed 2 standards as of now. Okay, one is 550. Okay, another one is 530. Now third standards we are doing 560 subsequent events. Subsequent events means events occurring after the balance sheet date. Events occurring after the balance sheet. There are 2 types of events. Another one is non-adjusting events. See, as per AS4, subsequent events is different. As per ACA 560, subsequent event is different. As per AS4, it covers only till the board signs the financial statements. As per ACA 560, it covers till the auditor signs the financial statements after the audit and till it is getting approved in the AGM. So, till AGM is the matter. For example, imagine there is a coronavirus pandemic. Okay, imagine there is a coronavirus pandemic. It has happened in the month of June. Imagine instead of March, it started in the month of June. Imagine like this. Now, what would have happened? The company, sometimes possible, they have signed the financial statements, but before AGM, because of coronavirus pandemic, there is a heavy loss for the company. Possibility is there. Okay, they wouldn't have expected all those losses. So before AGM, there's a possibility this company itself would have gone for bankrupt. Okay, so June they have completed the audit, but AGM before that, for example, AGM is happening in September. In this time, in this meantime, coronavirus came and this company went to bankrupt kind of. Because of corona, so many companies went into bankrupt insolvency. Now, in case if that has happened, that will be covered under SCA 560. Going concern is affected. That is the point here. Now, what are the 2 things? One is called adjusting event, another one is called non-adjusting event. For example, if a fire happened after 31st March, now this may not be a adjusting event because the fire has no traces, okay, as on 31st March. But the same fire, if it affects the going concern of the company after 31st March, then it is called adjusting event. Non-adjusting event, it requires only disclosure. This is the only thing. So as an auditor, what you should see, whether you have sufficient appropriate audit evidence to prove whether it is adjusting event or non-adjusting event. Yeah, I mean, if it is adjusting event, okay, what they should have done? If it is an adjusting event, they should have disclosed and they should have provided for. If it is a non-adjusting event, they should only disclose it. Understood? So adjusting event, they should provide for it. That is, they should adjust in the financial statements. Okay, non-adjusting event, no scope. So they should. As an auditor, if you think what they have done is correct, no issue. Otherwise, you should qualify your opinion. Simple. Sir, some examples, sir. See, the company is into deep trouble. They may not follow with the bank people. As per the bank owners, they are not paying. Then some contingencies become actual liabilities. For example, some court cases pending. Okay, they become actual. So contingent liability become actual liability means even after the balance sheet, it's adjusting event. So on debtor become bankrupt. So huge debtor become bankrupt. So you should adjust it. Next. So this kind of things you should keep in mind. இதெல்லாம் AS4 you would have studied. So, sir, how do I find there are subsequent events? Read the minutes. Okay, see the next year's financial statements, interim financial statements. See the next year's tally. All those things you can. Today's fourth standard is 570 going concern. I think by today we will complete 500 series because 580 is the last standard. So mostly we will complete that also today. Now 570 going concern. See, going concern is a fundamental accounting assumption. Who has to do? Who has to make sure that going concern is appropriate? It is a duty of the company, the management, to make sure their assumption appropriate. Now, the auditor has two things. One is whether going concern is questionable. Okay, point number two. First one is going concern is questionable, and point number two, going concern is not there at all. So, what is going concern is questionable means what? See, going concern questionable means in case the company has doubt, they are changing their line of business, the existing line of business. For example, the company which is manufacturing plastic bags. Okay, suddenly in 2019, the government of Tamil Nadu say plastic should be banned. Now, if going concern is questionable, if the company can use their machine, okay, from plastic bags to something else which is allowed, no issue. Or company buying a new machine to manufacture non-oven bags, kind of. So some of the different bags they are, because they have existing customers. So they are shifting from plastic to something else, paper bags or non-oven bags, which is allowed by the government. If they can able to shift, then there is a no issue. Then going concern is not affected. Understood? So what is this? This is the step taken by the company. Okay, this is the step taken by the company to they are changing their line of business to suit for the government's regulations. Now questionable, but it is answered. Then another thing is going concern is questionable but not answered. That means there is a possibility there is no going concern in future. For example, the company they are not adaptable to the changing circumstances. Plastic is banned. They are just like that left the business. So now the going concern is questioned but not answered. In this scenario, you have to give adverse remark. If going concern is questionable but they have given a proper plan, then you can continue to give a either for example, material uncertainty. But there is a new paragraph. It's not. Please understand. It's not a modified opinion. It's not even emphasis of matter paragraph. It's called material uncertainty paragraph. So what is material uncertainty? The company is still thinking, okay, but they are very sure that they will come back into the business. Understood? So please understand there are three indicators. One is financial indicators. The going concern may be affected. Financial indicators. So negative net worth, negative cash flow, all those things called financial indicators. Then second one is the first one is financial. Okay, second one is operational indicator. What is operational indicators? Operational indicators means loss of key managerial person, okay, strike, lockout, customers, they left the company, supplier not supplying, non-availability of raw materials, strike, all these things. So financial indicators like negative net worth, negative cash flow, then not paying the creditors, not paying the bankers, cash to liabilities not paid. All those things are signs for going concern affected. Then other possibilities is like natural calamities, government change their policy, all those things. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So we are studying this financial indicators. Okay. Then we are studying operational indicators. Then we are studying other indicators. So auditor should obtain sufficient appropriate evidence that going concern assumption is appropriate. Otherwise, they should give a opinion. See, for example, I will tell you what is that. When and all I should use what type of opinion. If there is no going concern, okay, then give adverse opinion. If going concern is questionable, then you give material uncertainty paragraph. You write in the paragraph that there is a possibility that there is chances of going concern getting affected. Chances, that's all. So you can tell even that no, the company is trying hard to come out of the situation and and they are getting, for example, they are in talks with the banks to get a moratorium. Now, you all know what is moratorium, right? That EMI need not be paid today. It can be shifted to later period. It's called moratorium. That we will not take any action against you. Okay, we will give some more time to you. It's called moratorium. Now, RBI governor has given moratorium to all the companies. No, for 3 months to 6 months, they have shifted. Then today's last standard is SA 580. It is called written representation. Um, So what is written representation? Written representation is one of the evidence obtained by the auditor when there is no external evidence available, no sufficient and appropriate audit evidence available from external source, then written representation is the only evidence. Okay. So in what we will get written representation, sir? What is the intention of the management? Okay. Everything is properly disclosed to the auditors. These areas, these two things you should get written. For example, if there is a investment and it is as per the management, it is long-term investment, they are not going to sell this investment in near future, then it is called what? Written. Okay, you should go for written representation only, because see, sir, what are the additional audit procedures I can use? See, written representation is only a prima facie evidence, it's not a conclusive evidence. So we should go for additional audit evidence. So what is additional audit evidence? For example, management has bought the evidence. Management has bought the investment in the month of, say, January, and January, February, March, 3 months they held this investment. So March 31st, when the balance sheet is getting prepared, they have told what this investment is a long-term investment. They classify it into non-current. Okay, but as an auditor, what you are thinking? This is only 3 months old investment. There is high possibility that they will sell it. So I want to classify it as a current investment. But management says my intention only matters. Okay, what you are telling, it's not my thing, because management is responsible for financial statement. Auditor is just do audit of that. So don't tell where I should classify. Like this, the management says. Now, auditor, he can, if he want to justify his opinion, he should see what happened to the investment after the investment. So when the auditor is going to the audit, it is in, say for example, July he is going for audit. Till July, they are continuing to hold the investment. Then the auditor has to say okay for what the management says. But in case if they could have sold the investments in the month of, say, April, then auditor should say, see, you bought it in April, January and you sold in April. So 31st March, you should have classified this as a current investment only. Can you able to argue? So if the management continue to hold till July, if they classify it as a non-current, then auditor should ask the written representation, give me, okay, a written representation that you will hold it for another 6 more or 7 more months. Can you able to understand? That is 1 year completion. Can you able to understand now? The second one is, sir, there is no external evidence available. For example, contingent liability. Whatever they disclosed, okay, it's not contingent liability. Then, as an auditor, what you can do? Additional audit procedure. You go and type in NCLT. There is NCLT website, separate website is there. Then you can click Chennai bench or whatever bench it is. You click it, and you can see any case against the company. Then you can even go to High Court's website and see, type the company's name. You can see whether there is a case against the company. You can talk to legal people, okay, of the company and see whether there is any case against the company. So like this, additional audit evidence you can take. Okay, so you should not take written representation conclusive evidence. It's only a prima facie evidence. Auditor should try to get additional audit evidence, whatever available. Then what the auditor can do? If the auditor is satisfied with the written representation, please understand there are two types of written representation. One is then if you when you ask that there is no evidence available, you have to give the written representation. The management may give. They will write and give. Sometimes the management don't know how to give. That time you have to write your understanding, get the acknowledgement from the management. There are two types. Another one is, sir, management is not even giving written representation. They are not even signing what. Then you can take a stand that I am going to qualify. There is no evidence available for a particular account balance, etc. So I am going to qualify. That is also another possibility. Okay. Then, sir, from whom you should get written representation? You should get a written representation from the person who is having the authority to give. Don't get it from a like no XYZ. You get from the highest authority person who is having a knowledge of that particular area, plus he is having authority in that. Please understand. So, for example, finance related matter you should get from finance people or from directors. Okay, purchase related matter you should get from purchase manager. Okay, they should have authority, they should have knowledge. And please see the integrity of the person who gives the written representation. Because if the person who gives written representation, if the when you do additional procedure, when the written representation made false, then you should question all the written representation received from that person. Do not take it. Understood? So this thing. So as I told you, daily half-an-hour class. So today also we completed 5 standards in this half-an-hour. So hope you understood things. So thank you so much for watching today's class. See you. Bye. Read and you please give that promise to me. Daily you should give the promise in the group. Okay, I have in the group that I promise that today I watch the class. I will study for at least 1 hour daily. Okay, daily you should write this promise in our group and you should send me. Okay, this promise should become your prayer. Please understand, this should be your prayer to me. Okay, see you. Bye bye.